Yeah, I mean, from what I know about shoulder injuries and situations like that, anytime you can avoid anything surgery or anything like that, that's great news. And then trust the process on, no pun intended, where we are. Trying to figure out how to get pain free quickly and then get the strength back and then work your way back into it appropriately. It's interesting because it's the first time I've done it, and those usually take a little longer than if this was a recurring thing. So just gotta trust the plan that we have and do my work.
What is the kind of treatment that you're getting? What is the
There's nothing right now. It's just letting it settle, and then once you get pain free, then you work on getting your mobility and your range of motion back, strength back, and all that. Then you get back to basketball activities after that, and then the back end should be a lot quicker than the front ends, from what I know or what I've been told.
What do you? How long do you think the front end might
It, it's hard to say just because it's the first time I've done it. Um, there's a couple of guys I've seen that had a little bit more severe cases. You know their timelines. You kind of do your guesswork, but just knowing this is the first time, I try to stay away from even me mentally trying to predict how long it's going to be, just because it'll let me know.
Was there any sense of relief for you when you found out that you definitely didn't need surgery on it? Like at least that part of it was.
Oh, 100%. That changed the whole dynamic of conversation, personally and as a team. So just trying to stay positive and understand I'll be back sooner than later, hopefully, and hopefully I won't miss a beat in terms of how I feel the rest of my body or my game, how I've been playing.
be? What we're gonna assess where your pain levels at right now and how I need it.
It's honestly not as bad as I thought based on how I felt initially, but they say it can linger kind of where you're at for a while. Just again, it's one of those things where you're happy about the kind of the outcome of what the injury exactly is, and the window of how long it usually takes for something like this to kind of get to a pain free zone, and then from there it's just uh, staying patient with the process of getting back on the court and understanding my body's in good shape. I feel like I can maintain that for the most part while you're injured, and then get back out there and hoop.
What were your initial thoughts into this injury that you've never really dealt
It actually wasn't too much fear. I know how I felt, and then kind of what the initial kind of diagnosis was before the MRI was kind of right. There's two or three different outcomes, and obviously, the Tim's question was just a matter of making sure I didn't need surgery and that I could, my shoulder be able to heal on its own, however long that took, because I know the surgeries are like 4 to 6 months, and that's nobody wants to be dealing with that right now.
what is the window for pain free?
Like a week, and then figuring out from there.
And are you staying on this trip?
Yeah, be a good teammate.
Can you talk about the importance of faith and the support system, especially like in the time of injury?
Everything is perspective. Blessed to play this game. Blessed to know I got great doctors and team trainers and all that help you figure out what the plan is, and then you just do it, commit to it. Again, blessed to know that there are other outcomes that could have been worse, and it's all a matter of just, again, the perspective of how you embrace whatever happens in life and figure it out, and that's what we're gonna do here.
What how important do you view this stretch without you, just to kind of determine where the season's
It doesn't. I mean, we're still in a sense of urgency even up until in the end of the game, just trying to right the ship and figure out what it takes as a team to get to where we want to be on a consistent basis. Like we've shown, we can be the best teams in the league. We've shown we can be beat on any given night. So it's just a matter of other guys stepping up. Every team goes through this at some point throughout the year. Dealing with injuries, dealing with some of your main guys, your starters being out, and you got to figure out how to just perform and embrace the challenge. Super confident in the guys that we have on this team to figure it out. And to your point, this is a very important stretch just because you want to maintain as much positivity and kind of belief in what we're doing as possible, and give ourselves a chance to finish the year strong. Looking at that All-Star break, kind of that sprint to the finish line, knowing that no team in the West has really separated themselves. So we can talk ourselves into we're still in good shape, but you got to go out and be a consistent basketball team. And I think we can do that.
You view it almost as like a number, like, hey, like, stay at 500 by the time I get back that day.
I mean, that's always kind of a good soundbite just because it gives you something to key on. But I think where we're at, we just want to win a road game and kind of take it from there.
Is there some hope, obviously, you'd rather be out there, but if you have to miss some time, is there some hope that while you're out, that some of the issues you guys have had when you're not on the court can sort themselves out, and you guys can, because you have to now, sort of find ways to fix those so that when you come back, you guys can kind of take off the way you hope to?
Yeah, just because that's the challenge right now, but it's also the combinations, the chemistry that we have with our starting unit's been great, but figuring out how to put full 48-minute performances together. Like, yes, we want to accept this challenge and guys to step up and play the way that we all know we're capable of playing. And then when I do come back, understand there's going to be another transition period because, we play a certain way when I'm out there. We're going to have to play a different way when I'm not. But hopefully you can merge the best of both of those and, become the team that we want to be. And I think most of it's just building confidence, like that how we see the game, how we put ourselves in a position to be successful, that it's going to work. I think that's the biggest thing for us. We haven't had that as much, especially away from the Bay.
Jordan Poole had a lot of success last season when he went down for the final 2 weeks. What's the key for him with you out for this stretch?
Just be Jordan Poole, be himself. To your point, with that stretch he played efficient basketball. He was very in control of what he was doing. It's why people know who he is now, and that translated into him being a huge factor in us winning a championship last year. I know he holds himself to a high standard, and we talk about it all the time. He wants to continue to play or be more efficient, be more consistent on a nightly basis, and nobody needs to tell him that other than himself. So it'd be a great opportunity for him to reignite who he really is and who we know him to be, and help us win games.
How much more fortunate is it for you that it's left shoulder, not right shoulder, and in some ways didn't that maybe help you get back a little quicker?
I don't think it helps you get back quicker. I just know it helps just with the overall use of it. Knowing one thing I do know is, like, once you hurt something like this, it becomes a little bit more unstable. There's nothing you can really do about that unless you are going to get surgery. So just trying to manage it as much as possible whenever I do come back the rest of the year. But knowing it is a left, it's definitely fortunate in that respect. Kind of the same thing when I broke my hand. More like just a feel thing, confidence I can still shoot the ball. But I don't think it helps you come back any quicker, from what I've been told.
Is this something that maybe beyond the season you might think about surgery, or is it?
I'm not right now. It'll let me know if it's necessary or not.
One of the ultimate signs of respect is when you have a signature shoe and someone else is wearing your shoe. Davidson women wore them last night against
NC State, yeah.
Andre Iguodala is wearing them right now. Talk about what you feel when you see, and then you got the scores of kids wearing your shoes. What does that feel like for you?
I mean, that's part of the blessing of being in the signature business, when you can share your story with people and what makes you perform on the court, but also the story behind them, and having that connection with the next generation of hoopers, your counterparts in the league. It's a cool experience for sure, knowing that kids especially, when put them on and think they can do the same thing you do, and that makes me happy, knowing hopefully they can put the same amount of work in and enjoy basketball the same way I have, and it gives them the same excitement and joy that it's brought me my entire career. So it's part of being able to tell my story through my kicks.
All good injury-wise, you guys?
I'm good.
Also, hop on it. Cass, anything else?
I just wanted to ask you quickly, Steph, obviously the team not performing as well as you would hope, but you personally, how good did you feel before the injury in your personal feelings?
I felt as confident as ever. It's kind of just been since I came back from that COVID year and all that, I felt like I've been in the best shape of my life. Body's been able to be pretty resilient through, that shortened season and then last year and our playoff run and all that, and picking up right where I left off this year. So I know injuries are part of the game and they happen at random times, sometimes unfortunate times. But again, it's just about the perspective of, I think I can maintain all that and heal and pick up right where I left off as soon as I can get cleared to play. So that's the stuff y'all won't see for the next however so many weeks, just to put the work in and get right back to work.